Hi there, everyone. My name is Nataki Ganzer, and I want to welcome you to Change Talk. First and foremost, happy 4th of July. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful and safe holiday with family and friends, enjoying some cookouts and fireworks and all the wonderful things that we've come to enjoy when it comes to the 4th of July and 4th of July celebrations. And I feel like today is a wonderful time to talk about our topic for today, which is celebrating our wins. So, the past couple of weeks, we've been discussing goals and goal setting and some of the pitfalls and things that may come up and obstacles when we are working on setting and accomplishing different goals that we set for ourselves in our lives. Last week, I shared some conversations that I had with a couple of my clients regarding their goal setting, as well as how they are doing with the 90-day summer goal challenge. And one of the other questions that I asked them during those conversations was about how to celebrate your wins. And I'm going to show you what came from those conversations. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about why it's important to celebrate your wins and how you can do so.
Right. So you make these goals and you got the plan and you're doing all the things. So how do you celebrate the wins when you actually reach your goal? What do you do?
So, once again, it's probably came up in our sessions about me celebrating myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I probably have not thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
know.
should.
Yeah, I was
You
saying,
should.
I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
that you'd say that I should have had this all in the plan,
We're
all in the
gonna
work.
add that to the list of things to talk about. Yes, yes, ma'am. Mhm.
Yes.
Because if you think about it though, like you're putting in all this work and yeah, you're trying to reach a goal or something that you want. And some people may say, well, that should be its own reward. Like you've reached the goal. Yeah, okay. But also the fact that you were able to stick to it, the fact that you were able to work through whatever the challenges were that got you there. And often when we have something that we're trying to accomplish, it may not be accomplished in the amount of time that we thought it was going to be. It may take longer. It may cost more in some capacity, not necessarily financially, but it may cost more the time or energy or whatever. So being able to celebrate that and fully take it in instead of, okay, let's check that off onto the next thing, right? So yeah, how do you? So let's just take the goal you were talking about then. So with I know one of the things we talked about in terms of organizing was the declutter party, right? So if you have that and you accomplish it and you get everything organized the way that you want in your home, then what? How do you celebrate that for yourself?
Well, now that you think about it, I'm looking at this wall. I really want to build shelves on my wall. So like
Mhm.
that will help me see what I have so that I know I don't want to like clutter up something that I built. I want to build shelves on my wall to organize. I have shelves. They're in the some of them are in the garage. Just
Mhm.
being able to put them up.
Mhm.
I might go buy a pair of shoes.
Okay. I
Give me
support that. I completely support it.
or some material to sew up something. Yeah.
Yeah, and that may actually, serve as an additional incentive because sometimes, depending on what the goal is, you may need a little extra motivation, a little extra carrot, if you will. So if it is like, I want to make that outfit for myself, and you pick out the pattern and you pick out the material, and once I accomplish this goal, then I get to make that outfit for myself. I get to
Yeah.
go buy that stuff guilt free. Then, I mean, even that is fantastic. But yeah, I love it. The shelves, you can actually set that up the way that you want to. So yeah, but think about that. And not just with that goal, with every goal. Like, how do I celebrate this win? How do I acknowledge the fact that I purposed in my heart to do something. I created a plan, I persevered, and I accomplished it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
Truly know that. I can celebrate my wins.
Celebrate your wins. Yes.
I celebrate everybody else's wins. Yeah. And it's
Listen,
not to say like I've been, pardon me.
I said you about to say a whole lot because we all do that. It's very easy for us to see we need to do that for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am definitely gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, how do you celebrate your wins? When you set a goal, you do the work, whatever setbacks come, you handle those, you reach your goal. How do you celebrate that?
I don't think I celebrate my wins. I don't think that I don't think I celebrate my wins. I'm trying to learn, which
Mhm.
is very hard. I would
Mhm.
definitely say celebrating the wins. Because again, like you said, the journey, it's really about the journey
Mhm.
to the goal. So yeah.
Mhm. Why do you think you struggle so hard with celebrating your win?
Um, I guess because no one really celebrates me. But I
Mhm.
know that like you have to celebrate yourself. I know that. But also like in big moments of my life that I have had, I always had to either, well, no, not either, but share the spotlight. So
Mhm.
it was not focused on me, it was focused on someone else, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Does. Mhm. So to me, that sounds like a really great area to spend some time thinking about. How do you celebrate the win?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
So, as you can see from the conversations that I had with both Ramona and Angelica, there seemed to be some struggle around the idea of celebrating your wins and when you accomplish a goal, taking the time to do something to celebrate that or to reward yourself. Some of the reasons around that, they vary for person to person, but one of the things that I've come to realize in the work that I've done over the years is that individuals really struggle with that. They struggle with the idea of taking the time to appreciate and celebrate what they've accomplished and where they are and the work that they've done to get to where they are. And it's important that you do that because, behavior modification, which is really what all of this is, can be quite difficult. Learning new habits and how to make those habits stick can be quite challenging. The reasons why it's so important for you to celebrate your wins or to celebrate when you accomplish a goal is it boosts your motivation. It helps to boost your sense of self-confidence because you feel good about yourself and the fact that you committed to a task, you stuck with it, and you actually accomplished it. It also helps to reinforce the behavior in a positive way. And you encourage other people. So when other people see you striving and working toward your goals and see that you actually accomplished it and to see that you take pride in that and you celebrate that, it becomes a motivator to other people. So it's a positive feedback loop that you've got going for yourself as well as for all those that are around you. So then the question becomes, okay, well, how do I do that? And what do you mean by celebrating? It doesn't necessarily need to be anything big. I'm not saying go out and throw yourself a party every time you accomplish something small, but you can do something. Something's better than nothing. So I'll use myself for an example. One of the goals that I set for myself for this summer, and I have about five, but one of the ones that I set for myself is I wanted to get into a regular habit of going to daily mass. Now, I'm usually a Sunday mass attender, but I wanted to get into a habit of going to daily mass and dedicating more time, focused time in my prayer life and spirituality and making sure that it fit in my day consistently. So the first step for doing that for myself was making sure that I make it to daily mass. Now I know I work better in the mornings if I'm going to do something that's focused because the later we get in the day, the lazier I get. And that's just me being honest. So I've made the commitment to myself that for 1 week, I'm going to go to morning mass, which is at 7 a.m. during the week, consistently. I wanted to make it to mass for 7 days straight. And it took me about 3 weeks to be able to do that. I tried and failed several times. But finally, last week, I hit the nail on the head. So Sunday through Saturday, I made it to mass every day. And the way that I chose to reward myself for accomplishing that goal, and I was very proud of myself for doing it, was I gave myself a lazy day. That meant that there was Wednesday, actually, this past Wednesday, I didn't set the alarm. I went to sleep Tuesday night, and whenever I woke up is when I woke up. I made sure I scheduled all my appointments later in the afternoon so I didn't have to do anything and I could have a slow, lazy morning. And it was fantastic. I genuinely don't remember the last time I slept without an alarm clock waking me up at some crazy time of day to do something, whether it was going to mass or going to the gym or going to an appointment or having, to start sessions or something. There's always something that's waking me up early. So it was really nice to just be lazy for a day. And that to me was motivation to do it again. So it can really be something that small. Often when I'm talking to clients, they worry that, oh, well, I don't, have money for this or I don't want to do that. And it doesn't have to be something monetary. It just has to be something for you that is a motivator. What's the carrot on the stick that's going to make you want to work harder to accomplish the goal so that you can have that thing? Think about when you were little and what was the thing that people use, to bribe you to do things. They could give you candy or extra TV time, or you could play a video game. It doesn't have to take a lot. So I encourage you, while you're sitting and figuring out what your goals are, figuring out the action plan and setting smart goals and overcoming the obstacles and things that get in the way of you accomplishing your goals, figure out, when I accomplish this, how do I celebrate? And I encourage you to write that down and give yourself something to look forward to. Again, I hope you guys enjoy your holiday. Please like and subscribe. Come join us over here in our Catalyst for Change group on Facebook. And I look forward to talking to you guys next week.